Happy Saturday, May 11th, everyone. Hunter here again at Weather on the Go. And in today's weather forecast, we're going to be looking at brilliant weather conditions for most of the country this weekend. We're going to be looking at temperatures and precipitation trends as well, and severe weather chances as we go into today, Sunday for Mother's Day, and into early next week on Monday. We'll do a complete breakdown of the setups and the severe weather as we go through those 3 days. And we are going to look ahead at the active weather pattern setting up for next week, which could include several instances of some heavy rainfall. So if you are new here to the channel, make sure to subscribe to Weather on the Go so you get the latest weather forecast information right at your fingertips. Also be sure to press the like button, the thumbs up button down below. It helps to get all of this information passed along to more and more people. So let's look here at the 500 millibar geopotential height. And what this shows is basically a dip in the jet stream here out east. And what this means is there's a trough out here, and this is producing a little bit of some active weather, but also cooler weather for the eastern Great Lakes region up here into the northeast. A ridge of high pressure out across the west will warm our temperatures up a lot more out here as we go through the weekend time frame. Let's look at our brilliant high temperatures this weekend, because our Saturday afternoon could not get much better here for the heartland of the country. We're into the 70s and actually taking a run at 80 degrees for many of us across the plains, into parts of the Midwest here. A little cooler with the influence of that trough across the Great Lakes and into the Northeast, with temperatures in the 50s and 60s, but just some refreshing air out there. Out west here today, a little warmer for places like Seattle, down here into Portland and the Sacramento area. But hey, definitely feeling that preview of summer as we go into this afternoon. More of the same as we go into tomorrow afternoon on Mother's Day. Look at that, 80s up here, low 80s into Iowa, parts of Minnesota there, South Dakota, Wisconsin, Missouri, and Illinois. Wonderful weather across the Corn Belt there as we go into Mother's Day. Let's look at precipitation through the day. Some wet times across portions of the eastern Great Lakes and interior New England, dodging some raindrops out here for places like Michigan, Pennsylvania, eastern Ohio, down through the Appalachians here into West Virginia. Also some wet weather into the Four Corners region, back here into the Texas Panhandle and West Texas through today. You can see that active weather will remain across the central and southern plains into your Mother's Day. Very strong high pressure across the southeast should drive some sunshine across your area as we go into Mother's Day. More wet weather up here across the Great Lakes region and into portions of the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Looking at the rainfall amounts through the weekend through Monday on May 13th, you can see the heaviest totals will be down here into the central and southern plains, especially here into East Texas, into portions of southern Arkansas and northwestern Louisiana into the Arklatex region. We can definitely see about 1 to 3 inches worth of rainfall here going through early next week. This could lead to some flash flooding. There is a marginal risk across eastern New Mexico into West Texas through Mother's Day, and then a slight risk for flash flooding Mother's Day, Sunday into Monday, especially there for east central Texas into southern Arkansas, Louisiana, and western Mississippi. Make sure you are looking at the weather forecast and never drive on flooded roadways. Definitely do not do that. Now, we are looking here at severe weather chances as we go through the weekend. There is a slight risk of severe weather down here into portions of West Texas toward the Fort Stockton area as we go through today. The main threat here is going to be large hail up to around quarter, half dollar size. The threat for wind is there, but up to 60 miles per hour for parts of New Mexico and West Texas, and a very small chance of an isolated tornado as well into extreme southeastern New Mexico, but also West Texas here into the Big Bend area. So looking here at our dew point temperatures, dew points will be pretty marginal today for the setup into the lower and middle 50s. This is not going to lead to a lot of instability here, so I don't think the hail threat will be overly too strong here today. I know we've had a lot of baseball size hail, softball size hail with a lot of our events in Texas recently. This does not appear to be that situation, but we do still see the threat here for 1,000, 1,500 joules per kilogram, which could lead to some quarter, maybe half dollar size hail and a 60 mile per hour wind gust, maybe even a tornado. So looking here at the rest of the morning, seeing a couple showers percolating here across eastern New Mexico and the western panhandle of Texas. That will grow a little bit stronger as we go into the afternoon, we're starting to see more supercell thunderstorm structures here. This could lead to all modes of severe weather. I think one or two of these could produce a tornado. Then as we go into the evening, pretty isolated coverage as we start to lose the daytime heating. The atmosphere begins to stabilize here, and then we're just seeing some plain out showers as we go into early Sunday morning. Going into Sunday, level 1 out of 5, marginal risk of severe weather here from eastern Texas Panhandle down into central and eastern Texas into western Louisiana. This does include the threat for 60-mile-per-hour winds, some quarter-size hail, and maybe an isolated tornado down here as well, into places from Austin over to Waco and maybe even just north of the Houston region. A little bit stronger of a warm sector for Sunday, Mother's Day out east here into East Texas. Dew points into the 60s, if not well into the 70s out here. Mid 70 dew points down into Houston. This is going to lead to some strong instability in excess of 2,000 joules per kilogram. And this will actually lead to more of a complex of showers and storms starting off your Sunday morning. One complex up here into the eastern Texas Panhandle into western Oklahoma, posing a risk for wind and hail mainly, and then more of a complex of some training showers and storms across central and east Texas into western Louisiana tomorrow morning as well. We'll start to see rounds of showers and storms moving through during the afternoon. Each round will produce the threat for severe weather potentially. And then we'll see that come to a close as we go into Sunday evening. As we lose the daytime heating and the instability, we'll start to see the coverage and intensity of the showers and storms wane into early Monday morning. Going into Monday, Monday looks to be the day for a more significant day relative to Saturday and Sunday for severe weather here. We do have a level 2 out of 5, a slight risk of severe weather for east and southeast Texas, southern Arkansas, Louisiana here, the entire state that is, and then into southwestern Mississippi. This could include the threat for some significant severe weather in East Texas, southwestern portions of Arkansas, and northwest Louisiana. Looking at the setup here on the NAM model for Monday, you can see very strong 70-degree dew points up there across most of the Arklatex, the Arkla-Miss region. Very strong, if not extreme instability in excess of 4,000 joules per kilogram here, especially in those maroon reds and purple shaded colors here across that region. We also have to keep a very close eye on the low-level jet here in the 850 millibar layer. You can start to see that out of the south and west as we go into Monday afternoon. Pretty strong over here, especially into Mississippi and parts of Arkansas and Louisiana over about 30-40 knots. That strengthens a bit there across portions of southeastern Arkansas into Mississippi Monday evening and Monday night. That is leading to some significant tornado parameter values greater than 1. And remember, a value greater than 1 here on this scale is significant. So we are keeping a close eye on the Arklatex, but also the Arkla-Miss region as we go into Monday afternoon, evening, and Monday night. So let's look here at the timing. Monday afternoon, you can see some isolated coverage, maybe some supercells developing here. Start to see more scattered coverage Monday evening as that low-level jet cranks up. Notice the storm mode here. Looking at supercell thunderstorms kind of developing from Memphis down here through portions of Pine Bluffs, maybe the Shreveport, Monroe area, Jackson, Mississippi. We'll keep a very close eye on that. Discrete or semi-discrete storms would pose the risk for more tornadoes. And then upscale growth as that low-level jet cranks up early Tuesday morning on the 14th of May. That could lead to more of a wind and hail threat versus a tornado threat for portions of Louisiana, Mississippi, and western Alabama. What all things considered, going into next week, things are going to be very active across the U.S., especially the eastern and southeastern U.S. Look at the Gulf Coast here from East Texas through Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, through Georgia here into South Carolina, North Florida. That's going to be the bullseye for well above average precipitation through Monday the 13th and Friday the 17th next week. Very heavy rains across the eastern two-thirds of the country. You can see the central U.S., a lot of areas from the upper Midwest down into the plain states here and near the Gulf Coast, seeing some very heavy rain. The heaviest, though, down here toward New Orleans, into Hattiesburg, up here into portions of Mobile, Alabama, in excess of 6 inches of rain possible next week. Into the eastern U.S., similarly depicted here. We have a lot of very heavy rain across the eastern U.S. The Ohio Valley seeing around 1 inch of rain for many of us. Across the southeast, the Dixie Alley region, Mississippi, eastward through the Carolinas, 1 to 3 inches, if not isolated amounts higher. And then another area area of some heavy rain up here to the northeast, west of Boston and north of New York City, up here to the Albany, New York area. Could be seeing around 2 to 3 inches of rain there through next week. So all things considered, very active pattern here. Not as significant with severe weather, at least the next couple of days. We'll keep an eye on Monday for you folks. Make sure to subscribe here to my channel. We'll keep you updated with a new weather forecast video tomorrow. Be sure to like this video as well and leave any comments, questions, and concerns down below. I'll answer all of those later today, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Saturday out there.